Well, here we are. Hi, my name's Joko. I'm an IELTS instructor, and I'm here to give you a hand with your essay. It's the Cambridge 14 essay. I know it well. Rajiv, hello Rajiv Kumar. Where are you from, Rajiv? No, I don't need to. That's like such an Indian name. I mean, it's like if you were English, it would be like being named George Jones or Mike Smith or something. But anyway, Rajiv, let's see what we can do with what you've given us. And you've brought us the Cambridge 15 essay. Was it 14 or 15? Question, that is. Kind of a weird question. I've never understood. Well, I mean, I know why they put it in there. Because there's an obvious answer. And the obvious answer is what you gave. And what they're looking for, I think, other experts will disagree. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. So what I think they're asking you in this question, or their purpose in including such an odd, seemingly one-sided thing, is they're testing your ability to think critically and be able to understand and express a side, a view that most people don't hold, or most people would have difficulty expressing and thinking of. And so yes, the IELTS test is not just an English test, it's a thinking test. It's a test of your likelihood to succeed in an academic environment. So what is this terrible question that I'm referring to? It's this one that we see here. Some people believe it is best to accept a bad situation, such as an unsatisfactory job or shortage of money. Others argue it's better to try and improve such situations. Discuss both the views and give your own opinion. And then I put this part in here because it wasn't in what Rajiv posted, but it is part of every task too, and it's part of the question. So, include it. Now, when I mark something, I use a color code to let you know what kind of error you're making in terms of how is it affecting your score in the band descriptors. Task response. How well do you understand? How well are you answering the question? All parts of the question. Also, do you understand the question? You have to understand it before you can answer it. Coherence and cohesion. There's a point where if something is not understandable, it's what we call incoherent. Lexical resource, using the appropriate vocabulary in the right places. And grammatical range, different types of grammar features, and accuracy. And that includes things like punctuation, capitalization, yeah. Okay. First thing with this type of question, please watch the video about discuss both view questions, because really you need to take some time and analyze and think about the views, not the people, some people. No, okay. Discuss both views, not the people. But anyway, who are these people? I mean, what do they think? Why do they think it? Could you put yourself in their shoes? And then answer basic questions like, are they talking about certain groups of people? Is there any indication as to when or where? And here we have, we just have some people. It doesn't indicate what nationality or anything like that. But it's best to accept a bad situation. This is not an unusual belief. It's sort of like the basis of Buddhism, really. Others argue it's best to try and improve such situations. Okay, such situations. So at least they're talking about the same thing. Now, do you have to talk about unsatisfactory job? And do you have to talk about shortage of money? Well, it gives them as examples, but it's such as. It doesn't say some people believe it is better to accept an unsatisfactory job, or it is better to accept a shortage of money. It's just about a bad situation. It's got a really vague language there. Bad. Who, in their right mind, would accept such a situation? Well, Think of it like this. Bad situation. Well, you know what? I can picture someone thinking that it's not possible to always be happy with your job. It's as long as I'm happy in my family life. What if my job is not satisfactory? Well, that's just part of living. Money is always going to be short. That's what money is. I don't base my happiness upon money, and I accept a lack of money on occasion. Not impossible to imagine this point of view and why people think of it. Oh, wait. Why am I on this? I don't want to hear it.
There are always two types of people living in this world. One which never tries to change situation and continue working at a place with unhealthy working environment. Another type which strives for change consistently. We have to be mindful of the scenario we are in before deciding to which tribe we belong.
Okay. And how did you answer? I'm going to give you this, Rajiv. So often I complain about people with cookie cutter, meaning that they all have the same type of beginning to their essays, and it's all very unoriginal, and you're seemingly following a template or something like that. Can't say I've ever seen anyone start an essay with, there are always two types of people living in this world. So, good of you to be original, but not appropriate. First of all, the idiom is, there are two types of people in this world. The always and the living aren't part of that expression. And that expression is not an academic English saying. Okay, it's something you'd start a persuasive essay to get people over to your point of view, or an article for the newspaper or a blog, but not an IELTS essay. You need to be neutral and not invent types of people. You could, as a rhetorical device, you might say, one way to look at the world is that there are those who accept things and those who don't. You can put it that way. All right. Now this next part, one which never tries to change the situation and continue working at a pace, that is not a sentence, because it's a relative clause. One which, you could put a colon here, and say one which, but this is not a complete sentence by itself. Which never tries. Okay, the reason this is red for task response is that what the question says? Okay. No, just in a bad situation. It didn't say anything about never. And continue working at a place with unhealthy working environment. And so this is one. One which never tries to change the situation and continues to work at a place with you forgot your article here, an unhealthy working environment. Well, unhealthy working environment is a good bit of collocation, and it's good vocabulary, but that's not what the question is talking about. It's talking about a bad situation, and you're very specific in the type that you're describing. What about lack of money? Where does that come in? And then this is also not a complete sentence. Another type which strives for change consistently. That's just a phrase. We, do not use we. Have to be. No. In IELTS, we don't have to be anything. It's not a persuasive essay. You're not trying to tell people how to live their lives. We have to be mindful of the scenario. Not a good word for situation. No comma here. I don't know why. Before deciding to which tribe we belong. Nice. I like the ending. To which tribe? Okay. Not very academic, but a nice little bit of writing there. Okay, so I see now that we probably don't understand the question. Okay, so now, in the first body paragraph, you're going to express what the first view is and, expound upon it, and perhaps why people believe it.
People who cannot change their present cannot also be blamed. Their economical situation may not be good. They may have someone in family not well. Someone may be under debt. Education qualification may not be satisfactory enough to help them grow in their
I
careers.
can't leave this.
This may be also true that they may be submissive type of personality and may be lacking the will to take the initiative to change his/her present.
They've got a character flaw. Okay. I don't know about that. Okay, so you should begin your body paragraph 1 with a nice topic sentence, perhaps summarizing what the other view is. You have to discuss the view. But you've already passed judgment on it. You're giving your own opinion very, very much throughout. But you haven't, in this paragraph, people who cannot change their present cannot also be blamed. Blamed for what? People who cannot change? It doesn't say they can't change. It says they just accept it. Doesn't mean they can't. Their economical situation. A very common vocabulary error is the difference between the adjectives economic and economical. Okay? Economic is what you wanted here, which is having to do with money. Economical is an adjective that describes something that is good with money or saves money. Oh, it's very economical to drive the train because you don't have to pay for car insurance. Whatever. It means it saves money. Economic is what you were looking for there. Economic situation may not be good. I know the question said bad, but don't use good in an IELTS essay. It's far too vague. They may have someone in the family who isn't well, who is sick. Someone may be under debt. Who? Education and education qualifications. Their education qualifications may not be satisfactory enough. Satisfactory means good enough. Okay? Or, enough. So satisfactory enough. Enough and satisfactory don't go together because enough is built in to satisfactory. This may be also true. What was true in the first place that now it's also be blamed. Also okay, you got the rule right here. Also comes before be, not after be. This may also be true that they, who are they, may be submissive. They may have a submissive type of personality. What does that mean? And may be lacking the will to take the initiative to change their present. You've certainly given lots of excuses for these people, but you haven't discussed their view. So you're missing a big chunk of what this essay is supposed to be about. Also, I want to point out something here in your sentence structure. Avoid long lists. And that's what you've done here. Is you've got a paragraph which is essentially a list of reasons why someone can't be blamed for their situation. And they all have the same structure. May not be good. May. How many mays is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mays in one question, in one paragraph. The other kind of people. No one falls in between these two. They're all just pathetic losers or smart, ever evolving. Well, people who are smart, ever evolving will never give up. We'll talk about giving up. Okay, they always look for change for a better. They always look for change. Look to change. Why capital I there? Don't need a capital. Doctors who are gunning for a training post in the UK. In the UK. Gunning for. Well, I guess it's a bit informal. But it's good vocabulary. Our same type. Same type of what? We're gunning for post. Our same type. Are the same type of what? Same type? Are this type of person? Okay, I imagine that's you. Can you think beyond yourself here for an example? They want to improve upon their present. Present. You use that a lot. They wish to get trained. You don't use get in IELTS essays. It's too informal. In a better setup. Should be a hyphen there. Like the NHS of UK. Of the UK. The follows before UK and the NHS. What if the reader doesn't know what NHS means? So those who keep trying are always on a path of a brighter future for themselves and their families. Is that discussing the view? They are the adventurous, braver souls. If you put two adjectives together like this, use a comma, who will always fight for the best in life. Superior man. Okay. And finally, your conclusion. In a nutshell. Don't use in a nutshell. Somebody said it's for spoken English, really. It's very informal. You would never put it in a paper that you're going to submit at a university. And that's your standard here, in a nutshell. Both kinds of people exist and live in this world. Okay. Not much of a statement there. Right? They exist and live. Will even try in testing times. Will try even in testing times. At the end. You mean when someone's about to die? Okay, at the end. A human being. Why switch to human beings now? We've been talking about people. Human beings is a very biological. No, don't use human beings. People must keep on trying to. Must now. Have to before. Now you must. Trying to evolve and adapt as per according to the changing times, comma. Otherwise, they risk being crushed under the ruthless competition of society. Don't need the there. Ruthless competition. In your conclusion, do not bring up any new ideas. And you haven't mentioned ruthless competition or people being crushed in the prior paragraphs. So you're very simply, your writing's pretty good. Not a lot of grammar errors, some punctuations. Don't see a lot of, make sure you're writing in complete sentences. You're not trying to use really strange vocabulary. Well, unhealthy working environment, perhaps. Ruthless competition. Careful with that. Most importantly, though, is that this is not a persuasive essay. This is not an essay where you're trying to convince people of something and make the world a better place. It's not a political party. It's not it's not for. I don't know what it's like in your country, but I do find that here in Myanmar, when these people went to high school, for many of them, well, the military dictatorship ended in 2010, really, but not the mindset of their teachers. And they were taught in high school to write essays about how great to write propaganda. And maybe that's what it's like in India. I don't know. Why are you writing this? Okay, this next bit here is from wordcounter.net. Trying to throw this in here. Now, I didn't find it, but it says there's a sentence with 47 words, but there's not. In fact, most of your sentences are a series of simple sentences. So your grammar may be relatively accurate. It's not a lot of it's far too many short, simple sentences. So is that it? Okay. Read up on what academic tone means. What they're looking for in idea. Up here. Oh, I remember. I put on the voice recognition and I just let it go. Yeah, okay, good. Rajiv Gallardo. There are two types of people in this world. Those who say that there are two types of people in this world and everyone else. Don't be one of the first. You break the mold in many ways, and it's rare that I have to encourage students to write longer sentences. All your sentences are quite short. All right, I hope that helped. Have a great day.